Part 3 of our series on the H Freeze interrogation. We stopped off with all of us talking about whenever we realized politics were part of our life and this and that. And, I just wanted to chime in and talk about, my part of it. Y'all made excellent points as far as 9/11, talk about this and that. One of mine was the Iran-Contra affair with Ollie North. I know this was way before H Freeze was probably even born. But they did. They, chimed in on our TV at that time. I had no idea what was going on with Ollie North. They were talking about him being in charge of whatever. We were selling weapons to someone, and they were trying to get him. And I just remember it being a big nuisance in my life at that point. I didn't really know what was going on with Ollie North. All I know is that he was, found guilty of a lot of things, and apparently this guy is he not like a reporter now?
Yes, he is a contributor on Fox.
Okay, of course he is.
That's where all the convicted
contributor.
felons go to get another job at Fox News.
But what I really do contribute, my following of politics is Bernie Sanders. 2014, 2015, I remember seeing him on the Congress floor just railing this guy. It was the AIDS medication guy.
Pharma Bro?
Huh?
Are you referring to Pharma Bro?
I don't know the name. I really don't know the name. And maybe you can tell me after I tell you my story if that was the guy. But this guy was the CEO of a pharmaceutical company who was in charge of AIDS medication. And Bernie was just handling this dude. Like, I didn't follow any politics. I didn't watch C-SPAN, didn't watch anything of the sort. But I did see C-SPAN where he was just completely giving it to this dude about his markup about AIDS medication, like 5,000%. I forget, exactly what all it was. But he was railing this guy. And, like I say, all of politics my whole life, I stayed ignorant of all of it. Even after 9/11, I told you my story of 9/11 and, what I thought about all that. I still stayed separated from all of that. Didn't want to follow all that. It's never been part of my life. But after I saw Bernie just eat this dude alive on the House floor, or maybe the Senate floor, I don't even know what Bernie was doing in 2015. But he just ate this dude alive, told him, hey, why is AIDS medication marked up X amount, this and this and that? And I said, wow, wait, there's someone that's actually working for our people, that's actually calling someone out on this. Are there people that actually call people out on this? I mean, like I say, I was completely ignorant of everything political, everything House, Congress, Senate, the whole thing. And I'll tell you right now, Bernie Sanders was the reason that I started voting. Bernie Sanders was actually my first vote as an American. I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary. I get that he is pretty extreme on the socialist side of everything, but he earned my vote from that. He really did. And, we can get into how it was stolen from him and given to Hillary and this and that. But I'll tell you, Bernie Sanders was the one who got me into politics. To this day, I do believe that had we ran Bernie as opposed to Clinton, I think he would have ate Trump's lunch. I don't think we would have ever seen Trump, ever, to this day. I know he wouldn't have won.
So, back to H Freeze's interrogation. What's the next question you got for him?
Oh, me? My question? Okay, so
It's your show.
It's my show.
I'm not letting it go either.
Right. So, as far as your political beliefs, what is your stance on abortion?
I want to say in the middle of it. Like, in my opinion, it's just in the middle.
Okay, but what does that mean to you? I mean,
Like,
when we talk about abortion, we talk about the
well, if we're talking about abortion, there's different opinions. Like, for you, how long does it go
right,
from being a feces to a baby?
right.
Fetus.
These are the things that I'm
Fetus.
asking of you.
But shut the
You're the one that's recorded calling it feces into a baby.
shut up.
Now that gets cut out.
No,
But no. Like,
but
where
really,
do you
when,
stand upon the subject?
right. So when we talk about abortions, what I want to hear is, do you think that there's a time limit on the fetus growing? Do you think should it be at conception? Should it be at birth? Do you feel like that there is ever an instance that abortion is okay? Do you think abortion is never okay?
Well,
We're talking about rape. We're talking about incest. There's so many facets when you come
Deformities.
down to the issue of abortion. And so,
I would say
someone from your generation, I would love to hear.
I would say woman or girl was raped. I can understand abortion if it's going to come out to disabilities and formalities that it can't live on. I understand. But if you're just outright just getting abortions to get abortions, like what's the point of not wearing protection? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, true. I mean, I'm definitely on your side with that. But at what point do we decide that for them?
It's ultimately their choice. I can't have an. It's just my opinion. I can't force it on them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's how I go about it. It's the woman's opinion. It's the woman's choice. That's their body. It's their choice. I can't force my opinion on them or that.
True. So there's, a conservative talking point when it comes to abortion that females like to use this as a form of birth control, where they just willy nilly, get pregnant and use places. What is the place that they're so against that they've?
Oh,
Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, Planned Parenthood. So there's this talking point that Planned Parenthood is used as birth control. And if they get pregnant, they just get pregnant and they go to Planned Parenthood and it's paid for by the taxpayer. And that's the form of birth control. I mean, what do you think of that? What do you think of that talking point?
and just so you know, not 1 cent has ever been spent towards financing an abortion. But boy, the fucking rooms get silent.
Oh, it did.
There is a legislation that no taxpayer funds can be used to fund this.
Right. And it's not that I don't agree with you.
I'm just pointing it out because I've seen one Republican claim that women do it because it's a hobby, like they actually like getting them. I've seen several of them claim they do it for profit, which is an absolute, complete, teetotal lie. I mean, some of these people's claims are just so out there from another fucking planet that I don't see how any reasonable person could listen to them say this crap
right.
and believe it. But people are stupid.
But from the youth perspective and what's been given to you, H Freeze, what do you think about like what he said, and what do you think about the talking points? You said you believe it's a woman's choice, which is most of our perspective. People like to act like this is not the predominantly, perspective of Americans, because we do. We do think that this is woman's choice. I think most of us have a time limit on that. Before we get into that, and that's such a sensitive subject because you're still getting into their bodies. What is your thoughts on that? I mean, do you have a time limit? What do you think on that?
I would say my time limit would be once it starts kicking.
Okay. All right.
That's 100%. Okay, it's 100%. There's a baby. There's that. But then again, like we've discussed, it's still not my choice. You know.
Right. So you're definitely in the middle there. That is, and this is where Roe v. Wade came in. And this is why they had so many hearings and so many discussions and debates on Roe v. Wade is this issue that you just brought up right there. And it's already been done for us. This has already been done for us. I'm completely with you where I don't want the possibility to think that I'm taking a life by a decision that I'm being made. But I'm also on exactly with you where this is not my decision. And I don't need the government to step in and make this decision for a woman. It's just not for us to do. It's not my body. You know, we hear my body, my choice. That's exactly
Yes.
where I'm at on that. You know, but what do you think about politicians taking it as far as saying that we can abort a child after they're born? Do you think there's any truth to that? And what do you know about how they use that as a talking point?
Well, last I know they used it as a talking point. They showed, or apparently they showed, what happens during a abortion, and you can see the feet. It shows the fetus, and then them sucking it up, or them cutting it and then pulling it, just to make it more dramatic than what it really is.
True, true.
And I'm not saying it's not dramatic for some people because it is, but what most politicians don't realize is these are women's bodies you're getting into, like, and that takes away from them if you're just saying no, you can't get this abortion, and it could take their life.
Right. So do you believe that we're performing abortions after a child has been born?
Performing after a child's been born.
Yeah, this is a talking point. This
Yeah,
is
like
definitely
already out of the mother.
This is definitely a MAGA talking point where I'm full on liberal, and one of the things that demonizes me on the political side is apparently I am okay with a woman having a child and aborting it and it being called an abortion and not murder after this child is born.
I don't think he is familiar with Kermit Gosnell. He was a doctor. He was doing such things. He would even induce labor
Mm-hmm.
even months early and then just use a pair of scissors and cut the back of the child's neck, severing the spinal cord. And immediately the entire right wing senators, congressmen, Fox News, every single damn one of them said, see, this is what the left wants. This is what the left wants to do. We never fucking said that. Nobody ever said that. That man went down for multiple cases of murder.
As he should have.
But that's something that these right wing nut jobs is claiming the other side wants, that the other side likes.
Well,
no proof, no evidence, no nothing. It's just shit talk.
You think about it, it's any party, even if you're Republican or Democrat, any little thing that you believe aligns with that party, and if it goes wrong, fucks up, oh, y'all did this, y'all support this, y'all support that. It's just
name a single person on the left or any single person that's not a right-wing Republican that was for killing babies after they were born.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's
not one that was for it.
And the reason why I asked you that is, coming from the youth side of this thing, I'm 47 years old. I'm basically being shamed for being pro-choice. And the talking point is that we're literally pulling babies out of women and we're killing them, and that being called an abortion whenever, it's my understanding that most of these babies are not viable. They're going to die within hours.
Oh, and eating them too. There's a lot of
yes, we do eat babies, but that's a whole other thing. That's for Halloween. But the fact that we allow them to die, and this is up to the mom and the dad whenever the kid is not viable, and they choose not to have a lot of the life-saving measures that could be administrative because they know that this fetus is not viable. This baby is not viable. It's not ever going to have a life. And this is the talking point that they use to try to give us. And I just wanted to know if you had ever heard of that. By what you said, it doesn't sound like you ever did really hear of that.
I've heard a little. I just didn't think it was like a legit thing.
Right. All of it's legit. We're talking about human life. The bottom line is, I think most of us, left, right, liberal, conservative, we all value human life. And we're not going to just throw it away, willy nilly, like they like to say.
Yeah.